Stand 2, welcome back to the briefing room. If you are new to this channel, here is the dossier. I am a retired special operations officer. I spent a lifetime in the shadows doing the work that keeps the world turning even if the world doesn't want to know about it. Due to the nature of my service and the sensitive contracts I still hold with the Department of Defense, my identity is redacted. You won't see my face. I am just a voice in the dark. The military gave me a purpose, but it took its pound of flesh. I carry the injuries, some you can see, most you can't. The disability check hits the bank account once a month, but let's be honest, it barely covers the cost of survival, let alone the cost of living. I'm not here to ask for charity. I was raised to hold the line, not a tin cup. I believe in a fair exchange. I am trading my experience, my trauma, and my intel for your attention. I'm giving you the unfiltered reality of warfare. In return, you hit that subscribe button and leave a like. That support tells the algorithm that this old soldier still has a mission. It keeps me independent. It keeps me in the fight. If you're on board with that, then get comfortable. Because today, we are going to talk about the one thing no soldier wants to admit to: fear. Everyone has a breaking point. It doesn't matter if you are an Olympic athlete, a tough guy from the streets, or a corn-fed linebacker. There is a specific combination of pressure, pain, and panic that will make your brain shut down. The United States military knows this. In fact, they have spent billions of dollars designing schools specifically to find that breaking point. They don't just want to train you, they want to traumatize you. They want to introduce you to your own demons so that when you meet them on the battlefield, you won't freeze. In this breakdown, we are going to dissect the anatomy of fear. We aren't looking at units, we are looking at phobias. We will analyze the suffocating terror of the water, the primal panic of gravity, the slow madness of exhaustion, and the crushing weight of isolation. We are going to find out which school breaks you first. Category 1, the fear of suffocation. This is the domain of the Navy SEALs and the Air Force pararescue. The human brain is wired for survival. The most basic requirement for survival is oxygen. When you take that away, the lizard brain, the amygdala, hijacks the system. It screams, breathe, fight, panic. In BUD-S or water survival training, the instructors weaponize this instinct. They call it pool competency, but it is really controlled drowning. Imagine you are at the bottom of a 15-foot pool. Your hands are tied behind your back, your feet are tied, your lungs are burning, you are out of air. And then an instructor swims down and attacks you. He rips off your mask. He spins you around, he ties knots in your air hose. The panic that hits you in that moment is absolute. It is a physical electric shock. Your vision narrows, your chest spasms. Every cell in your body wants to shoot to the surface. But if you do, you fail. This fear breaks people fast. I have seen men who could run marathons and lift cars quit in 10 seconds because they got water up their nose. It's not about fitness. It's about the inability to override the biological urge to breathe. The water is merciless. It is cold, dark, and heavy. In surf torture, candidates lie in the freezing ocean until they are hypothermic. The cold makes the mind weak. It makes you bargain with yourself. If I just ring the bell, I can be warm. The fear here isn't of dying, it's of the endless, shivering misery. If you are claustrophobic, if you fear the deep, the water schools will break you in the first hour. Category 2, the fear of gravity. This is the domain of the airborne, the air assault, and the HALO jumpers. Humans are land animals. We are not meant to fall. When you stand on the edge of a ramp at 30,000 feet looking down at a planet that looks like a map, your vestibular system sends a warning: do not do this. The fear of heights is primal. It is a fear of impact. In fast rope training, there is no safety net. You grab a thick rope and slide down 90 feet from a hovering helicopter. The rotor wash is beating you down, the rope is shaking. If your grip fails, you die. It's that simple. There is no try again. I have seen tough men freeze on the tower. Their hands lock up. They cannot force their muscles to let go of the safety rail. This is the freeze. It is the brain protecting the body from a perceived fatal error. Then there is the HALO jump, high altitude, low opening. You are falling at 120 miles per hour in pitch darkness. You have to trust a piece of fabric to save your life. The fear here is a cold, intellectual terror. You are doing math while falling to your death. Check altitude, check heading, check team. If you pull too low, you hit the ground. If you pull too high, you drift into enemy territory. The margin for error is zero. The fear of gravity breaks the control freaks, the men who need to feel the ground under their boots. In the air, you have no control. You are just a falling object waiting for physics to decide your fate. Category 3, the fear of exhaustion. This is the domain of the Army Ranger School. This fear is different. It is slow. It is a grinding, gnawing horror. It is the fear that the pain will never stop. In Ranger School, you don't sleep. You don't eat. For 62 days, you are in a caloric deficit. Your body starts to cannibalize itself. You lose muscle, you lose fat, you lose your mind. The fear here is the fear of your own weakness. You are carrying a 100-pound ruck through a swamp in Florida. It is 3 a.m., it is raining, you have been walking for 19 hours. Your feet are raw meat inside your boots. The hallucinations start. You see things that aren't there, you hear voices. And then the voice in your head starts to whisper, "Just quit, just sit down, it's not worth it." This school breaks the athletes. The guys who are used to performing for an hour and then going home to a protein shake and a soft bed. Ranger School doesn't care how fast you are. It cares how much suffering you can absorb. It breaks the men who have never known true hunger. I've seen men quit just because they saw a pizza commercial on a TV in a passing car. The desire for comfort overrides the desire for the tab. This is the fear that you simply cannot take one more step, and the realization that you have a million steps left to go. Category 4, the fear of the unknowns. This is the domain of the Jungle Warfare Training Center and SERE school. Survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. This is the most psychological of all the schools. In the jungle, the environment is the enemy. It is wet, loud, and alive. You are constantly wet. You are bitten by insects. You are surrounded by a dense canopy that blocks out the sun. You lose your sense of time. You lose your sense of direction. But SERE takes it to a darker level. This is where we simulate capture. You are hunted. You are put in a cage. You are hooded. You are subjected to interrogation techniques. The fear here is helplessness. In Bud S, you can swim harder. In Ranger School, you can walk faster. In SERE, there is nothing you can do. You are the victim. You have no power. The instructors play mind games. They lie to you. They tell you your command has forgotten you. They tell you your wife has left you. They strip away your identity until you are just a number. This breaks the alpha males. The guys who are used to being in charge. When you strip away their rank and their control, they crumble. They cannot handle being powerless. They cannot handle the isolation. The fear of the unknown is the most insidious. When you are sitting in a dark box listening to your own heartbeat, your imagination becomes your worst enemy. You invent tortures that aren't even happening. You break yourself. So which school breaks you first? It depends on your demons. If you need air, the water will break you. If you need control, the air will break you. If you need comfort, the ruck will break you. If you need power, the cage will break you. But the goal of special operations training is not to eliminate fear. That is impossible. Fear is biological. The goal is to stress inoculate. We expose you to the water until you stop panicking. We expose you to the height until you stop freezing. We expose you to the hunger until you stop complaining. We build a switch. When a civilian feels fear, they freeze or they flee. When an operator feels fear, he flips the switch. He acknowledges the fear. Okay, I am terrified, I am drowning, I am falling. And then he acts anyway. He forces his prefrontal cortex to override the amygdala. This is what we call the suck. You have to embrace the suck. You have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. When you look at the footage of these training camps, the mud, the waves, the dark forests, don't just see men suffering. See men who are surgically removing their own weaknesses. They are finding their breaking points and pushing them further out inch by inch. And that brings me back to you. You might not be in the military, you might not be carrying a gun, but you have your own schools of fear. You have the fear of failure, the fear of poverty, the fear of loneliness, the fear of not being good enough. The lesson from the operators is this: do not run from